The first time Emily realized Daniel was scrutinizing her every movement. She was no longer in the same country as him. It was 2:13 a.m. Her phone lit up on the bedside table. No number, no caller ID, just silence on the other end. She did not speak, neither did he, but she knew. Some instincts never forget a voice, even when it says nothing. Back home, Daniel was unraveling. Administrative leave had turned into suspension. Suspension had turned into investigation. The offshore account had been flagged. The property purchase traced. Lena had submitted her recordings voluntarily. He had underestimated both women. That would be his first mistake. His second mistake would be thinking distance meant safety. 3 days later, Emily noticed something strange. An email login alert. Location, her home country. She froze. She had changed her passwords. Updated security. Removed shared devices. Unless Daniel still had access to something she had forgotten. Her old tablet. The one she stopped using. The one still inside the house she left behind. In another part of the city, Lena was shaking. Daniel had shown up outside her apartment. Not violently, not loudly, just standing there, waiting. When she refused to let him inside, he smiled. "I just want to talk." She recorded the entire interaction from inside her door. His voice was calm, controlled, but beneath it was something colder. "You ruined my life," he said softly. "You and her." Lena's hand trembled. "I didn't know," she replied through the door. "I didn't know you were lying." His response chilled her. "You should have stayed out of it." That night, Lena called Emily again. "He came here," she whispered. Emily's heartbeat slowed instead of racing. This was the pattern. Charm, loss of control, intimidation. "He won't stop easily," Emily said quietly. "He needs the narrative back." Lena exhaled shakily. "I'm scared." Emily paused. So was I. 2 days later, Emily left her building for work and saw something that made her stomach drop. A car parked across the street. Dark windows, engine running. It remained there the entire time she walked to the bus stop. It followed, not closely, but enough. Her breathing remained steady. She took out her phone, photographed the license plate, turned into a crowded cafe instead of boarding the bus. The car drove away. Coincidence? Maybe, but Daniel had contacts, friends who owed him favors, people who believed his version of events. That evening, her lawyer called. "He has filed for partial custody." Emily closed her eyes. "He hasn't seen the children in months." "It's leverage," the lawyer said calmly. "He wants negotiation." Negotiation. Daniel always negotiated when cornered. He applied pressure until others folded. But this time, the pressure was documented. Back home, Daniel met with an old acquaintance, a private investigator. "I need information," he said coldly. "Schedules, who she meets, where she works." The investigator hesitated. "Is this legal?" Daniel leaned forward. "I just need peace of mind." Money exchanged hands, and the line between desperation and danger blurred. 3 nights later, Emily received a package at her apartment. No return address. Inside was a single photograph of her taken that morning outside her workplace. Her chest tightened, not from fear, but from confirmation. He had escalated. She immediately forwarded the image to her lawyer and local authorities. Then she did something Daniel would never predict. She called him. He answered on the second ring. Silence hung between them. "Did you think I wouldn't recognize your style?" she asked calmly. "I don't know what you're talking about," he replied smoothly. "The photograph," she continued. "The car, the login attempt." A pause. Then his voice shifted, softer, almost amused. "You think everything is about you." She let the insult pass. "I'm filing a protection order." His laughter was low. "You're overreacting." "No," she replied. "I'm documenting." Silence. And then, the crack. "You destroyed my reputation," he snapped. "You turned her against me. You turned everyone. You did that yourself," Emily said evenly. He breathed heavily. For a moment, she heard the version of him the world never saw. Uncontrolled, desperate, dangerous. Meanwhile, Lena made her own decision. She went to the police station, submitted the door recording, submitted text messages, filed a harassment complaint. 2 women, 2 separate reports, 2 documented patterns. Daniel was no longer facing a divorce. He was facing exposure. The private investigator called Daniel the next afternoon. "I'm out," he said bluntly. She filed a report. "This is becoming criminal." Daniel gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles whitened. Everything was slipping. The job, the mistress, the control, the narrative, the house that used to echo with Emily's quiet compliance. It felt smaller now, emptier. For the first time, he felt something unfamiliar. Irrelevance. Across the ocean, Emily stood in her apartment with Lena on video call. Two women who had once been on opposite sides of deception, now united by truth. I thought he loved me, Lena whispered. He loves control, Emily replied gently. Silence lingered. Then Lena said something unexpected. I'm willing to testify. Emily's breath caught. That was the final piece. Not revenge. Truth. Daniel's phone buzzed late at night. Unknown number. He answered irritably. A calm male voice responded. Mr. Daniel, this is Detective Harris. We'd like you to come in for questioning regarding harassment and financial misconduct. Daniel's throat tightened. How serious is this? The detective paused. That depends on what we find. The line disconnected. Daniel stared at the dark windshield in front of him. For the first time in his life, he was no longer controlling the outcome. The other woman didn't know either. But now they both did. And when two truths align, the most dangerous man in the room becomes the most exposed. To be continued in the next episode.